Hello everyone. In this video, we will be combining like terms, and this is the third part. In this part, we're going to involve distributive property. Before we jump into this examples right here, let's have a definition for like terms. Like terms are terms that have the same variables and power. Now, again, we remember that variables refer to the letters, and the power refers to its exponent. Now, on the other hand, unlike terms are terms that do not have the same variables and power. Now, let's take this first example right here. Before we can combine this expression right here and before we can simplify it, we are supposed to get rid of this parentheses. One way to do that is to use the distributive property. So this x right here on the outside shall be distributed to each of the terms inside the parentheses. So if I go ahead and multiply x times 3x, that would come out 3x squared. So I'm just going to write it down here. So that's 3x squared. And then I'm going to distribute the other x to the negative 4. So x times negative 4 is a negative 4x. So I write negative 4x. And so I'm just going to go ahead and write the rest of them down here. So that would be plus 9x plus 2. Now, we are now ready to combine like terms. So the first thing that we look at is 3x squared. So we'll look for the ones that has x squared on them. And there's no other term that has x squared. No others. You're going to say, can we just combine the 3x squared and the negative 4x? Again, remember, these two are unlike terms. Since this one has a squared, this one doesn't have a square, so they're not like terms. So then we can go ahead and say that we can just keep the 3x squared. So then we can go ahead and move on to the negative 4x. So the one with the x are this one as well. So we can go ahead and combine these two together. So that would come out, first, again, the 3x squared doesn't have anything that we can combine with. So we can go ahead and write 3x squared. And then I combine these two, negative 4x plus 9x is a positive 5x. And then there's no other constant here since we only have 2 left over. So I can go ahead and just write 2 after that. And this is our simplified form of this expression that we have up here. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. And when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, so we go over the problem here. Again, we get rid of the parentheses by distributing the term that is outside of it. So I distribute the 2 to each of the terms here. So 2 times y squared is 2y squared. So I'm just going to write it down here. And then we have 2 times 3y is 6y. So I write plus 6y. And then we have 2 times negative 1 is a negative 2. So I put negative 2 after that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and write the rest of them here. So that is plus y squared minus 6. Now, our next task is to combine like terms. So we'll look for the ones with y squared on them. So I circle this. Now, there's another y squared down here, which is plus y squared. So I combine these two together. 2y squared plus y squared is 3y squared. So I write that down here, 3y squared, because again, that's 2y squared plus 1y squared is 3y squared. Now, I will look for the ones with y. So looking at this, there's no other term that has y on it. So we can just go ahead and keep the plus 6y. And then we combine the ones that are constant. So I put a box on negative 2 and then negative 6. Both of these do not have variables on them. So negative 2 minus 6 is negative 8. So I write negative 8 right here. And this is the simplified version of this expression that we have up there. Did you get the same answer as this? Good. Perfect. Now let's move on to the next example right here. So it's pretty much the same thing. We are supposed to combine like terms, but before we can do that, we're supposed to distribute the term that is outside of the parentheses. So in this case right here, I distribute the 3 to the x squared. So 3 times x squared is 3x squared. So I write that down here. So that's 3x squared. And then I distribute the 3 to the 4x. So 3 times 4x is 12x. So I write plus 12x. And then I'm going to distribute the 3 as well to the -1. So 3 times -1 is -3. And then I will distribute the positive 5 to each of the terms again. So that is positive 5 times 2x squared is a positive 10x squared. And then we have a positive 5 times negative x is a negative 5x. And then we have positive 5 times negative 3 is a negative 15. So then we go ahead and combine like terms. So we start with the ones with x squared. So we have 3x squared plus 10x squared is 13x squared. So I write that down here. So it's 13x squared. That's the green circle. Now we combine the ones with x on them. So we have a positive 12x and then we also have a minus 5x. So 12x minus 5x is 7x. So that would be a positive 7x. And we combine the constant. So we have -3. So I'm going to use a triangle for this. -3 minus 15 is -18. So I go ahead and write -18 right here. And so this is the simplified form of this expression that we have up there. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. And when you're done, pause it and check your answer. Okay, so we go over the problem here. So it's pretty much the same thing. We are going to distribute this 4 to each of the terms inside the parentheses. So that is 4 times -3y squared is -12y squared. And then we have a 4 times y is a positive 4y. And then we have 4 times -2 is a -8. And then we distribute the -3 to each of the terms inside the parentheses. So -3 times 2y squared is -6y squared. And then we have -3 times -5y would become a positive, because a negative and a negative becomes a positive. So that becomes a positive 15y, because we have a 3 times 5 is 15. And then we go ahead and distribute again the -3 to the positive 3. So -3 times positive 3 is a -9. And so we combine like terms. So the like terms would be -12y squared. We also have another y squared right here, minus 6y squared. So -12y squared minus 6y squared is -18y squared. And then we combine the ones with y on them. So that is 4y plus 15y. That would come out a 19y. So I write plus 19y. And then I combine the constants. So that would be -8 minus 9 is a -17. So this is the simplified form of this given original expression that we have up here. Did you get the same answer as this? Good. Perfect. If you find this video helpful, hit like and subscribe for more math videos. See ya!